Shout out, this is Lawrence the Michigan Spirituality and the Game Combines. You have the thinking class. We are live today. We are going to touch down on this whole, I'm about to call it Lion King. It ain't Lion King, it's Woman King. And really just get rid of it so we can move forward. And I got something I'm going to say to the men folks. They may not like what I'm going to say today, but it's going to be all right. Shout out to O'Shea for actually saying and putting it in the atmosphere, but we got to have this conversation, and I'm going to put in the link. I'm gonna put it in early, so you want to come up, you want something to share, you're gonna be respectable, you can come up. I'm gonna put the link. What's going on, Fair Soul? Good to see you in the place. Good to see you in the building. Let me put the link right quick, and I'll give you the okay when you can come up. But we're gonna talk about it just a little bit, because it's something I want to dissect, or something I want to say that I think a lot of people need to really hear. So shout out to everyone who's listening from around the world, not just in one location, but in multiple locations. This is the Thinking Class, when spirituality and the game combines. Let me throw this up right quick. This is going to be in our private area coming soon. This is our big purpose, and I think everybody need to know our big purpose of the Thinking Class. The Thinking Class, we bring together 4 thinking, spiritual, conscious individuals to learn, to share, to grow, and reframe our mindsets. We push to reach our maximum potential. Let me move this. Maximum potential in all levels, so that we can unlock new spiritual and practical paths to strengthen the relationship that matters the most, and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavior mastery. That is what the Thinking Class is, and that's what the private group is going to be with the Thinking Class. So you definitely want to we're going to get that together. Is actually getting together. I'm not going to say they're going to get together. We're going to put that together. So this is what the Thinking Class is. What's going on? It's good to see you, Wade. We put this out there. We bring together what? 4 thinking, spiritually conscious individuals to learn, share, grow, and reframe our mindset. So we push to reach our maximum potential in all levels, so that we can unlock new spiritual and practical paths, and strengthen the relationship that matters the most, and usher in a new era of intellectual and behavior mastery. That is what the Thinking Class is about. Well, let's get it going. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling today. What's going on, Ted? Good to see you. Good to see you, Ted. Good to see you in the building. Let me get the camera up. Try to move something. Oh, shoot, something moving. I don't want it to move. Man, let me do this. Something that's moved. We don't want to do that. But here's the camera. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So today, what's going on, Kenosha? Good to see you. Good to see you. So there's been a whole discussion all this week about the Woman King. And there's been debates, and there's been fiery, there's been discussions, there's been disagreements, there's been agreements, there's been people who become professional researchers, and people who become historians, all in the matter of 1 week, over one movie that's actually doing very well at the box office. It's actually doing very well at the box office. I'm gonna lay this link in here. So when you get an opportunity, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to come up. I want you to share. Now, if you come with ad hominems and insults, you will be dismissed immediately. So there's been all this discussion, and we understand that we understand that this is a movie that has been that Viola Davis has produced with some other producers, and they came up with The Woman King. But there's a key point I want to make sure I emphasize. And me and John was talking behind the scenes, and we sort of chuckled about this, and I'm going to say it. Sometimes it's not, I'm going to rephrase it too. Sometimes it's not expedient to wake somebody out of their fairy tale, because it's so much pleasure. It's more pleasurable to be in this fairy tale than to face the reality, hard reality of the truth. Let me say that again. Sometimes it's just better to leave people in their fairy tale than to wake them out of the sleep of that fairy tale and face the reality of the truth. Sometimes truth is the most craziest thing to offer to people, because sometimes people are not ready to hear the truth, and people sometimes run away from the truth because of it. The truth begins to shed light on what's going on inside of them. So me premising this is very important that you get this. The Woman King, and please, let me say this too. I have not. So for a disclaimer, all those who out there, well, you didn't even see the movie. I have not seen the movie. But I done got a lot of commentary on the movie. I know a lot of people out there have said it. I pretty much done seen 3 hours I done seen the 3 hours condensed already. I know it may not give justice to the movie. I understand that. But I want to emphasize something. We got to recognize historical from fictional. Let me say that again. Historical and fictional based on true story. Those are two different narratives. What happens is when something is based on what's going on, Yahoo? Good to see you. When something is based on a story or is fictional, because it has droplets of truth in it, it makes the fictional seems like it's the real thing. And so we begin to defend something that's fictional and based off a story as if it's the true events that took place, because what took place because of the emotions that we felt by watching this fictional based on a true story cinematic masterpiece. So this is where we grapple at right there, because we got to realize, though, even though there has some truths in it, doesn't make it completely true. Please understand what I'm saying right now. So even with The Woman King, yes, Viola Davis' character was a true living person back in the 1800s. Yes, there were women warriors. The Europeans called them Amazons because of their pristine, great ability to fight. Yes, that was there. Now, when it comes to the fictional side of it, what's going on, fam? What's going on, Black Tech? Now it comes to the fictional side of it. We got to understand that the fictional side of it is this: that they had to create characters, and the Woman King, the king was an actual king. The king was an actual king who served in the Dahomey tribe in West Africa. So that's a true person, and Viola Davis' character was a true person, but what she went through, we do not know. So what she went through as a person, we do not know. Now, what took place to those women in that tribe can be encapsulated in Viola Davis' character. Let me say that again. Viola Davis' character can be encapsulated in many women who were part of the women warriors. So we got to understand that. So we got a difference between what? The fictional and the historical. So yes, Viola Davis' character was a real person. Did she go through what Viola Davis went through? There's no documentation that she did, but there is documentation that what Viola Davis went through in the movie took place from many women in that tribe. So that's what we got to understand. So we got to understand that. So what happens is, because of that, and because the emotional charge and triggers inside of the movie, and it felt so real that we take it as it's the truth, even though it is fictional. So that's where we got to lay this at right here. I want to make sure I'm clear about this and clear it up really good, because I'm going to travel somewhere. I'm getting there. So yes, the king was a real thing. Yes, Viola Davis character was a real person. Did the thing she went through, I'm saying it again for those in the back, she went through, yes, those women went through certain things to be a part of this special forces or this special warriors. Did they go through training? Yes, they did. This happened historically. Would these women back then outdo the women now? Yes, they would. They would definitely take care of the women back then. So I want you to get that. So I want you to understand that. Other part of it is the Dahomey kingdom or tribe were monarchs. That means there was a king who sat on the throne, and every king had he took on a name or characteristics and a flag to represent who he was as reigning as that king. So there was a monarch, just like the king of England, like the queen of England and the king of England. There was a monarch. So there was a succession from father to son. So I want everybody to see it. They were not democratic. So everybody get that cleared up. So please understand that. Blackjack, you brought up a good point. They were known for making money from slave trades. Let's get that. That means they capture other Africans and sold them to the Spaniards and the Europeans. They would fight with different tribes, and they even fought with the British coming in. That's historical. So I want you to get that. But I'm gonna get to what I got to share with the men. Y'all, please stay with me. So we got to understand the historical side of this. They were slave traders. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, pretty about slave trading. There's nothing pretty about slave trading. They capture other Africans from different tribes, because I know a lot of times we think that the Africans in that continent, the continent of Africa, because we got to think correctly, travel from different countries doing trade or whatever they were doing. And some of them were captured, brought into the Dahomey area, and then what? Sold over into the Europeans and some Spaniards to be shipped off over into this side of the country, or to the United States, and South America and the islands. This is how they make their money. Did they sell palm oil? Yes, they sold palm oil. But the main thing that they did was slave trade. These women were elephant hunters. They were part of the royal guard. That means that the king inside of the movie only had women who were guarding where he stood at, or where his kingdom, or where his castle, wasn't no castle, but where he was. So the women would get a report from the men that were warriors out there on what's going on, and they would report to the king. The only men that were allowed in there and around him were eunuchs, and we talked about eunuchs, men who were unable to. Don't give me that, Felicia. This is history. Men who were able to what? Men who were unable to produce. They were eunuchs. That means their reproduction organ was cut off. That is the history of it. Now, let me get this clear, because I want everybody to get this. I'm not talking about any other place. I'm not talking about any place in Africa. I'm not talking about the king. I'm not talking about Egypt. I'm not talking about America. I'm not talking about nowhere else. I'm talking about straight right here. This particular Dahomey tribe. That's what we got to understand, because they were the first, they were the vacant spot, and they were the. So you got to understand the reason why these women became warriors. They were elephant hunters and they did other things, is because the constant clashing with other tribes, and with the constant clashing with other tribes, what took place? We had a decline in the men. So these women were trained thoroughly, so much so that the British were what? Were astonished, and they called them Amazon, because of their ability to withstand pain and to fight to the end. Now, when we think about this, really think about this. Wouldn't you, I'm just saying as a man, wouldn't you want that kind of woman around you? But we're going to go into that. So I want you to get this. This does not take away that the movie was fictional, based on what? Historical evidence that took place in that side of the country and continent of Africa. What has happened is, why is there such a uprise with the men, is because they're hearing the word woman king and not understanding the context of which it was used inside of the movie. So I want you to get that in the context of the movie. In the movie, the king called her woman king. She still reported to the king. This is not something that took place in history. Were there women who were in that position? Yes, but they were not called women. They were not called woman king. I know we want to feel good. I know everybody want to feel like a superstar. I hate to bust your bubble. If I'm giving away too much, it is what it is. It was the king who gave her that name, woman king, because of how she led the women warriors in the battles that she won, and her ability to make decisions and to lead. That's why she got that name. But did that happen in history? That's the part I'm gonna get to. It was the king who gave her that name. So now that we know that, and that was creative liberties inside of the movie that needed to make the movie flow and sell the movie. Think about it. If they would have called the movie Woman Warriors, would it have made such an impact and such a stir as it did right now? Yes or no? So this is a good way of marketing to get people to debate, to get people to what? Go back and forth about it, get angry about it, to get the men riled up. How can it be a woman king? It's a good way because men are thinking gender while women are not are thinking genderless. So it was a title. Woman king was a title. She was sexless besides the things that took place with her, and she was not married. Trust me, I'm building where I'm building at. Let me read what you said. That doesn't matter, LDA, because since the release of the movie, some women have taken it as such. Right. That's the point I'm going to get there. There needs to be a role that's of that nature. There needs to be a role of that nature now through. Right. So I want you to get this. I know everybody ain't going to agree with what I'm saying, but it is what it is. Now, why the uproar is because men are hearing this, and that's what I was saying Wednesday, and no one's hearing the other side. Why are the men saying this? Why they're in the uproar, even if they haven't seen it? Because they're thinking, hey, now we didn't call you queens. Now you want to take the title as now woman king. And for men, when they hear king, no matter when people in general, when they hear king, they automatically think of a male, the man, a man. So please understand that. Much as people don't want to talk about it, that's the rubber where it meets the road. Shout out to you, Joe Bass. Appreciate that. So when men hear this, they say, okay, the first thing that triggers inside of them is when they hear woman king is, wait a minute, bro. Wait, what's going on? You saying woman, but she a king? They're not thinking title. They're thinking gender. Because everything has now become trying to become genderless. And now you're saying, now we didn't call you queen, and now you want to take the title as a king. We didn't call you queen, but now you want to take the title as a king. Not understanding the context of what it was used in the movie and that it was not a historical thing that took place. So what we do is we go back and forth with each other, not understanding the context of why it was said or brought up that way. Were there women in that position? Yes, but the title was not there. So it stirred something up in men and said, wait, hey, king, what? How you gonna be king? King, learn to pronounce, all worlds in music debate. Okay, you've seen a male ruler of an independent state, especially one that inherited the position of rightful by birth, right? So they're hearing this, and that's what they're thinking. This is what Blackjack said. This is exactly what men are going on inside. And to deny that this is not what they're thinking is we're missing the conversation. You cannot just ease that over men. Let me say that again. You can't just, well, you guys just need to get over it. So what is called woman king? No, my brother. No, my sister. We can't just ease right over that until we address why men are thinking and perceiving this being an issue. Whether we agree or disagree, whether it's false or not. Because many times we have not heard the voice of the men. And when men understand, oh, okay, this is what's going on, that the king actually gave her that title. Okay, all right, I see what you're going. But on the other side, men are questioning why would they allow that in the movie for her to call woman king, and what narrative is really being pushed, not only to men, but also to women. And and it's amazing. Just as I said that this Thursday, I got a message on my Instagram from a lady from a post I posted from Ava Muhammad. And in her comment, I wish I would pull it up, but I didn't block out her name. She said something. She said something. You know, we work together. We doing this together. You know, women were worries all the time. And I knew it was coming. Women were going to hear this and potentially see the movie and take it upon themselves that they are warriors when they couldn't stand a match to these women in the Dahomey tribe. They couldn't stand a match. They were tougher, they were leaner, they were in shape, they were strategic, they will kill you in a heartbeat. And I knew it was going to happen, that the fictional narrative was going to take a high rise and become someone's personal narrative. I knew it was going to happen. Now we're going to have women who are now going to say that they're warriors. And I said something. What's going to happen is they're going to think that they're warriors. But what are they really fighting? Who are they really fighting? And that's the danger. The women of the Dahomey tribe were protected or under the leadership of a king. Thank you, Joe Blast. Thank you. What's going on, Donna? Good to see you. So that's the dangerous part when the narrative would be. Let me explain some psychology here. When the emotions are stirred to the point that it becomes believable inside of the movie, you begin to interpret what you've seen as real, because the mind doesn't know the difference between that which is real and not real. And when the emotions grab a hold onto it, they're saying, "Oh, this must be a real thing." So what we have is, and this is the thing, this is just the thinking class. Now we're going to have women who are going to embrace the title as not only queen, which we talked about, that some women being called queen in the conscious community is saying we shouldn't allow them to call queen because they have not been thoroughly vested to be called queen. And now we're going to take on, now she's going to become the woman king. And now what's always the next step? But I got something I'm going to say to the men about this. Trust me. Not to mention the way that they depict them mowing through so many men and losing so few. Now that right there, that's the part. It is the fictional side of it. The women were tough. They shook the British. They shook the Europeans when they came there. Let's put it that way. But after a while, because of the superior ammo that they had, they took history side of this. They was able to defeat the women warriors and actually cause the Dahomey tribe to retreat. That's what happened. So you got to understand. But if you see this in the movie, you're going to say, "Oh, wow, yep, we can do that." This is no slight. Please understand, this is no slight against Viola Davis, her husband. No, they produced it. Great. And I'm going to get to that part. That's the part you really want to hear. You men, I'm going to really stir your pot today. I'm going to really I'm going to ring your bell. And I don't want you coming over here when I'm about to say to the men, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that part. But I'm going to say, what's up, cuz? My cousin in here. Shout out to my cousin, Anthony McQueen. I don't want to hear that, though. I don't want to hear all that. What I'm going to say. Let's talk about the part in the slave trade, since the white writers I conveniently left that out. Yes, they in the story, these people for years were slave traders. I think we can't cover that. They were slave traders. There's nothing at all. They will have the people that they capture walking around a tree because they knew on some level that it was wrong, and have them walk around a tree to make them forget what they're about to go through and what they were going through. When food got slim for inside of the community, of course, these people starved. They did heinous things to their own of different tribes, parts of Nigeria and other parts, and they did wrong. The slave trade was completely wrong. But this is the part I want to get at. I want y'all to get this. Why they produced this story for a white woman, though? So that's a good question. If we look at one of the producers, this is documented. Go back and check it. I know everybody don't get in your feelings. Stay in your feelings. I'm gonna put the baby up. I'm gonna put the baby up. Y'all, you getting your feelings. you getting your feelings. This is what's gonna happen. I want you to get the feelings what I'm about to say. The reality of it is this. The producer had in mind, while watching, one of the producers had in mind, while watching, thank you, Braveheart. Why can't we have a Braveheart featuring women who were dominating and being warriors? That was the brainchild. Insert what? The story of the Dahomey tribe. Oh, we're going to get to that, cousin. We're going to get to that, cousin. We're going to get to that. White people shouldn't be telling black people stories. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Give me. Where we at right now? Because I got to go golfing today. I got some new clubs today. We're going to get to that. But I want people to understand the fictional and the historical side of this. If we were to, let's collapse that they were slave traders. Let's focus strictly on the women right now. I want to make sure we focus on them. These women actually existed. I think the last one died in 1970. The last one who was part of that tribe actually died, and who was trained in 1973. So it was actually real women who did this. But I want to get something. My cousin brought up a good point. White people shouldn't be telling black stories. Let me break it down. Now we're going to gender. We are going to gender right now. As much, and shout out to the people who comment. We closed the book on it yesterday on my Facebook page, but I'm bringing it up because I want you. We're going to go to the gender. We're going to go to gender. We're going to cover color. Oh yeah, see, actually defeated the Romans under the queen, and they were better story in their anchors throughout the history, and they're like, okay, good. See, let me go to the gender. As much as we don't want to admit it, there is, and it's gonna be tough, man. I've been doing some research, studying, thinking, contemplating. As much as we don't want to talk about it, there is a gender war. There is. I know people say it's over with, but let me present it the correct way. The gender war I'm talking about, and let me get a little bit closer to what I want to get at. We in the black community just seen Viola Davis, who is a black woman, got a movie and got to produce. Y'all need to pay attention to this. Got a movie produced with a narrative that she wanted or that the writers and they wanted pushed out for America and for people to debate about. Y'all need to think about this. All you brothers out there. Viola Davis, who's a black woman, got her movie greenlighted and got it produced with other producers and got it done to tell their narrative or fictional side of a true story and got it pushed. I know it's hard. I know it's going to be hard. What does that say to us as men, and especially black men? And as much as they try to tie in the Woman King and the Black Panther and what everybody was doing Wakanda Forever, you see how they tied all together, because Wakanda Forever is coming up next. Marvel Comics is coming up next. They're tying in this for a reason. But I want you to see something. If you feel like my cousin put in there that white people shouldn't be telling black people stories, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He brought it up yesterday. I think it'd be good. Could it be some Andrew? Yep. Yep, it could be. But I'm gonna say something. Yeah, well, that speaks volumes. Not good for our. Yep, it speaks good. They got the movie off. They got the movie off. Ooh, woo, and it's doing good at the box office. Last time I seen, they should be able to make their money back from the movie. So they got the movie off. My question to you, and I'm gonna sound like some of my Muslim brothers. Brother, what are we going to do? Are we going to sit back and debate back and forth that Viola Davis and the Woman King is doing good in the box office, and we sit back and debate with our women and with other people about it, and we do not create our own narrative, and we don't create our own movie, we do not have our own media, we do not have our own platform that we have and support, and do something about it. Read what my cousin wrote. I want y'all to get that part. They just set it off and went back square one. Yeah. I know some women in the family that are too stuck in symbolisms. As long as they see black, they don't care where it comes from. They voted for Kamala Harris and not knowing she broke up the black families, and then Trump, more than Trump can imagine. Saw Viola Davis and don't care about the accuracy of the story because black woman's good. Yep, nothing, not knowing they're a white puppets. Correct. So what are we going to do? I remember in the church when they would do a vote. What should we say about these things, brethren? What should we say? Should we continue crying and whining about it, complaining about it? What should we do? Are you going to complain to the white people or we white puppets? What are we going to do? Or are we going to sit back and you want to use a certain word they in the street to call a female dog, but are we going to sit back and just complain about it? Are we going to say, you know what? Oh, they did this and they did that. I won't be surprised if I doors get a this is how, yep. Who really is behind the Black Girl Magic, right? Oh, that movie's getting all the awards. Yep, y'all already know it. Y'all know it. Yep. But I'm gonna say something. Y'all better hear what I'm saying to you. You need to create your own. Stop buttercupping, crying, moaning about this mother movie and create your own. Support people who are doing something. It may not get to Hollywood. We can do a short. We may not, we may not get, we can tell the other side we can create a movie on the other side. The side of the king, why he decided to call her the woman king from his side. Create your, if you don't like what's being put out there, stop complaining, stop and moaning, and create your own. If you haven't noticed in these past couple years, before Corona and now afterwards, from what I was told, that there is I can't remember how many millions that just the manosphere, the men have that is their own. If you want to combat what Viola Davis and the Woman King is saying, create your own narrative. Don't give me no excuses. Don't give me no, we can't do. I understand that. Create. See how the numbers went down when I say that? I understand what's going on. I understand my mission. Let me read what my cousin said. We as people can get along and make change. Too many, every man for himself, and not enough community togetherness. Cousin, that's my cousin right there. That's my cousin right there. So for you know, we McClendons. That's my cousin. That's right. Yes, create your own. The man in me won't allow me to debate with a woman. I'm going to continue being the man and help the black man to create his own narrative. I realize there's a war against masculinity and the black man. Yep. But what we going to do about it? What we going to do about it? Man, good to see you, Wade, man. I appreciate you. As long as we are divided, we're doomed. The war against masculinity, if men fold, it's over for the rest. Correct. We have been the guinea pigs. Yep. Come on. What do you say, Dre? Yes, LDA. We black men need to create our own. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just in the infighting, and I'm going to say it too, just the part, all the infighting in the black manosphere, you said this, you said that, I seen you cheating, you don't like women, all this infighting in the black manosphere. I'm right on top and I'm right where I need to be at. If you don't like the Woman King, if you don't like what's being said, you understand. I listened to BGS yesterday, he said something interesting. The reason why men, and particularly black men, are behind the 8 ball, because no one is investing into the men. No one is investing into the men. They're undereducated. Skill set is gone. Create our own. It can be create our own. The untold story of the king who named her Woman King. There's a title right there. Create your own. You want to come back? You want your narrative to be told? Create your own. If you can create it, support the people who are. In Cleveland, we had just had the Black Film Festival, where different creators came together and showcased their shorts or their films in a movie theater. Someone gave me an example last night that they can get $500 from birthdays, but only got $25 to support the Black Film Festival. Think about it. It don't add up. If you want to see change, if you want to really do something about the Woman King, support people who are doing something that speaks your narrative, who's going to promote what you think. Is it an attack on men? Yes. What are we going to do about it? We can go back and forth going back and forth on Instagram, Facebook, and on this, the family, create our own. There you go. Woman's king. Yep. Create our own. You want to see something? It's something when men, thank you, cuz, when men get together and say, no, we ain't going for all that. When we create something, we have forgotten that we are the foundation and that we have put the structure for this to work. There would not be no woman king and no structure behind this getting promoted if it wasn't some men who put it together behind the scenes. Create our own. Support men. If you want this, you want your narrative to be out there, go do it. Let me say something too, since everybody I'm gonna say it too. Thank you appreciate the cash out right there. Appreciate that. Way appreciate that. Let me say something. When Al Greaves made Frustrated One, you need to hear this. Appreciate that cash. Let me put this out here, because this, as I say, this life might be just getting my bridges going. I want you to get this. When Al Greaves made Frustrated One about men being frustrated dealing with the women that they're dealing with here in the United States and they're traveling, what do we do with his movie? He made Frustrated 2, and now Frustrated 3 is out there. What did we do? He took it to the film festival. They didn't want to hardly play it. They put it on an off day and things like that. He can tell a story better than I can. What did we do when it finally came out? And I'm guilty of it too. What did we do? What we did was bootleg his movie, and then we took the bootleg, put it on YouTube for others to watch for free. So though y'all better miss me with this whole woman king thing. Let me say that again. When Al Greaves made Frustrated One, they bootlegged his stuff. That production is not, it costs to do production. I have somebody I know who does production. Sound. It is not free. But we take something and we bootleg it, put it on YouTube, pass it to our friend. When Tariq Nasheed put out Hidden Colors, we burnt it and passed it out. People was at swap meets passing it out, and he didn't get the money that he should have got for Hidden Colors. Then they came up with, once they see the success of Hidden Colors, then the mainstream wanted to make something called Hidden Something Else. You know what I'm talking about. So don't tell me we don't have the ability as men to push our narrative out there if we don't come together and say, this is who we are. Why do you think I come up here with a hat on? Why do I make sure I'm dressed? Because I want my narrative, how I look, my image to say, this is what a man is, let alone this is what a black man is. So don't come with all that. If we want to really change some things, our focus has been wrong. Okay, they got that one. Take one for the team. Woman King's out. Now it's time for us to get ours out. It's time for us to tell this true story. Because if not, and I put this on my Facebook page, if you are not careful, others will tell your story. Others will tell your story and not tell the truth about your story just to entertain others. So if you want your story, your narrative to be out there, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Are you going to support the men who are doing something? See, this is the thing we need to watch. Let's drop the whole women king thing. These people are supporting the women king. If it was a flop, it wasn't that good, nobody would be supporting it. They're supporting it. As much as we want to say it's the white man, it's the this and that, and this one doing that, they're supporting it. I'm pulling the OG card right now. Are you going to support people who looks like you, but not only looks like you, who speaking the narrative that you want to be pushed about you? What's going on, Jay? Are you allowing? That's the thing we need to hear. So all this talk, we can get the psychological beating and the triggers inside of the movie and all like that. We can say she shouldn't have been called the Woman King. There was a title. I can give you the historical facts and I can give you the fundamental fictional side of the movie, but the movie's doing good. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to sit there and complain on the side of the road? They did it. LDA. And they did it to us. I can't believe it. Woman King. Or what are we going to do about it? Blackjack, good point. This has nothing to do with race. All men should be against this, right? If they're against it, get our narrative out there. Get our narrative out there. I know I don't support T. Perry or any male actor that wears dress. So you don't support him? Get our narrative out there. Support men who are, you want support men, channels, things like that pushes your narrative. We can no longer, for lack of example, if Yahoo was here, I know we can no longer be the voice in the wilderness anymore. Shoot, man, we need to be up in the temple. This is what it is. No longer will we be voices in the wilderness. No longer. You think I've been doing this for 10 years just to be doing this? Come on, thank you. I'm sure there are men in general that will support a masculine opinion. Thank you so much. That's my point. Don't you think? I've been doing this for 10 years. Other people been doing it. Encourage people to write books so that if you want to change the trajectory of how people view you and see you as who you are, control the narrative. He who controls the media controls the people. If you mad because they didn't gave a falsified fictional side of this what took place in the Dahomey tribe, let's know how to fix it. Shut your mouth first. Create our own. You already see, if you see that this is a trick, all it is a trick bag that they doing so they can push the feminist movement. Okay, cool. Push the feminist narrative. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, I got you. What my grandfather say? What my grandfather say? He said all the time, don't get mad, just leave and create your own. It's crazy. I bet Al agrees at the supermarket, and I was delivering in Scarsdale, New York, back in 2010. He used to tell me about the production side, since then I was too young to catch what he was revealing. It's crazy. Okay. Yeah, you see. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Do you think it's easy to get up here and the equipment that I have that everyone invested in to do this so that the sound is right, so the visual is right, so the lighting is right, the right computer? We need to invest in people who speak what we want to speak. And if they don't, dun, 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 cut them. As the devil's advocate the other day, the young men that brought Black Panther to the screen and the actors that made the reality legacy is used to promote this too. Yep, see? So you see, once again, we got to know the importance. That's a good point. We got to know the importance of who's speaking our true language and who is a traitor inside of our camp who say they're speaking our language, but they ain't. Good point about the Black Panther. Some of that was shot here. I think the Black Panther movie was shot here in Cleveland. It was, because I have a friend of mine who was in it. You don't like it? Don't get mad. Create your own. You don't like the way they're saying about it? Create your own. I wish I'd get you so upset and mad at me, furious at me. Why would you say that? Cause oh yeah, oh yeah, this women king. We grinding at the bit about it. They're pushing the narrative. Could it be a move to Black Panther out of the Marvel Comics? There's another Black Panther movie coming out far as in Marvel Comics. And y'all gonna be surprised who's gonna be sitting on the throne. Y'all think y'all was tripping about the Woman King. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Spoiler alert. Ooh, boy. Michael B. Jordan, the director, and Chad Boseman also look at how they hate Kevin Samuels, but women made money off of his talking points after his death. See? I'm gonna say something about Kevin about that too. Unfortunately, it has been erased to some degree. Who's all over the TV and dress and makeup black males? Who was the woman king? A black woman over a black man. The black man is the poster boy for yeah. Let me say something. Kevin Samuels, as much as the detractors do not want me to say his name, and why would you say Kevin? They had a problem with Kevin. The reason why they had a multiple reasons why they were mad at Kevin. But who was the greatest supporter of Kevin? Women and men. But let me get this. One of the things that Kevin was adamant about was this. For us to own our own narrative, to control the media, the magazines, so that we become the voice of what we went out there. Do you know why? Let me bring the nation in. What was one of the PowerPoints with the Nation of Islam with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that they had the what? Muhammad Speaks. Then it turned into the Final Call. Who was one of the components to help with Muhammad Speaks with no other than Malcolm X? That was their avenue to what? Push their narrative to the people that they have. With the Muhammad Speaks. So brothers will be out there selling Muhammad Speaks, bean pies and Muhammad Speaks. Get what I'm saying. They had the Muhammad Speaks what? They had Elijah Muhammad had radio shows or radio spots. They went with the communication to what? Get to the masses, people who normally wouldn't speak. They had training for the men. You just to become a Muslim just because you said you was with the Nation of Islam. You had to write a letter, and the letter had to be written correctly. And then you had to be approved by Chicago in order for you to say that you was in the Nation of Islam under all of the rights and regulations, and that your student minister that were at where you were at was what? In place. Everyone couldn't be a spokesman or a national spokesman. And they had protocols. I want you to get something. They had their own restaurants. We had one here called Shabazz. Best fish I had when I was a little kid. Bean soup. Delicious. And a wheat roll. I remember that. If anybody remember, I think that was off 105. No, not 105. It was on Superior. That's what I'm getting at. Have your own. That's what I'm saying when Black Panther 1 comes out. Every black kid had a superhero. They could have easily resurrected Killmonger to sit on the throne. Yep. I already know how the Black Panther is going to go. That's why I'm already against seeing it. So if you already know, you got to control the narrative. Bean pies, my brother, right? Bean pies, my brother. Why? Because they control the narrative of how they looked, how they interact, so much so that what? Different groups knew not to play with the fruit of Islam. Why? They controlled the narrative of how they were seen, how they were viewed, and how they dealt with issues. So as much as we're going back and forth about, and I'm not, this is not likely because I have been very, very adamant about not seeing it. And I have been very adamant about the title. I've said a whole lot. I wrote a whole lot. I've said a lot. But at the conclusion of this, what say us what we gonna do? Now the nation has a hands for. What said we gonna do after? What we gonna do now? Where's our movie? Where's our video? Shout out to BOA for making his video. Where's our movie? Where's our music? When hip hop started, come on, we didn't even start with hip hop started because everybody even got into arms about who was there with hip hop and everything like that. Come on. You need to create your own. If you don't have the means or the creativity, support those who do have their own. Shout out to the brother I heard last Friday. I think his name is Damon Drummer. Excellent composer. He's already he created a movie. I didn't get to see the movie, but I heard him sing about his things dealing with as a man and being a father. That's what I'm talking about, qualified. Yep. So I want you to get this. I thought Alfie was becoming a director. Yep, Alfie was coming. Yep, Alfie's doing that too. But we need to support each other. You want to control the narrative? Support those who speak your voice and not those who gonna just grease your hands. Grease your hands because they want something from you. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I've been around from church to outside the church, inside the church, communities. Oh, I've been on. So for those who want to question me, well, you don't know you're talking about LDA. You don't know who you don't know.
Execute Order 66.
You don't know nothing, LDA. You don't know what you're talking about. You just don't know. You don't. I've sat on boards. I've been a part of committees. I've been a committee member. I've interjected. I've done things on 2 boards. So all you can think, you can say and wonder, well, he just talking this crazy stuff on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube, baby girl, baby boy. Please understand who you're dealing with. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. That's what I'm talking about. Black people are too welcome others into the community. We got to get a gatekeeper in our history so that they can't spin it their own narrative. Very true. The only going to do that is we men stepped up. Yep, Alfie. Now I'm sporting Alfie Tarantino. I like channels like this because you talk the truth. Thank you, Wade. I appreciate it, brother. You getting approached in the public from you. Yeah, I get approached. Yeah, I truly get approached in public. Yeah, I get approached all the time in public from people from YouTube. Hey, I know you from somewhere. I was on the boat ride. I know you from somewhere. I don't know you from YouTube. Yeah, but at the same time, that ain't what it's about. If I have not put the fire under your assets, it is my own asset fault because you should not just be hearing this and not do something about it. You want to do something about Woman King? Support people who speak what you want to hear. We already see that's happening in Georgia with Stacey Abrams. You know, she's looking for votes from the black men. So we have to create. And from men too, we got to create something that speaks to the black men because we need their votes, even though they look at us as second-class citizens. But that's another conversation for another day. Y'all may not like that, but it is the truth of the matter. It is what it is. So in closing, because I got to go get ready to swing that iron. I want you to get this. I don't know if Yahoo's in the chat room, man. Please, if you in the chat room, let me know, Yahoo, because I know you be working and everything. I need this scripture up. If Yahoo's in the chat room, let me know, Yahoo. I need this scripture up. Because I know he'll find it like, but I need this scripture right here because it's right here. It needs to be planted right here. Whether you Bible or not believe in the Bible, the truth is just the truth. It is what it is. I know you may not like it, but this is it. If Yahoo's in the chat room, he might be, busy because he's in doing his thing. But this is the truth. I saw some ladies day men were bathrooms. I saw some lady. So yeah, but I want you to get this. We can no longer approach this men as children. We cannot approach this with crying and whining. We cannot get mad at the women who decide to go their own way and leave us behind. I done told you before, men have already decided to vote with their feet. What we have to do now is decide, what narrative do I want people to know that I am? What narrative do we want to be spoken about us at this point? They got this one. Can't cry. You can't cry and whine about it. But what are you going to do from this? I know everybody black people need to come together and this and this and that. If there's some black people don't want to come together, fine. If you don't grab a hold of first your image and how it's shared outside of these YouTube streets, Facebook streets, Instagram streets, you have missed the mark, especially with the thinking class. You should be out there representing yourself to the highest degree. You want to change the narrative with the woman king? Cool. We want to go Crips and Bloods with the women about this? Wasting energy, wasting time. People know in history, you don't try to go after the adults, you go after the who? Children. If you want to change the narrative in the next 3 generations, you go after not the adults, you go after the children. That's what they have done effectively for 3 decades. And I'm more than 3 decades old. Is go after the children with the narrative that they want to push. If you want to change the narrative in your city, in your state, with yourself, you need to say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to tolerate, and this is what I ain't going to tolerate. I can't change people who don't want to be changed. That's why I'm saying to you guys, if you guys want to go back and forth with the women, it's some battles, you just got to say, you know what? You just got to say, I walk away. It's not defeat. It's say, you know what? I don't have time or energy to debate and go back with you about whether you want to be a woman king or not. If you want to be that, if you want to say this in history, fine, wonderful. I understand it's fictional. I understand there's historical side. I'm glad the story was told, and in some parts I don't wish it was never told because of the slave trade. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's just best to say, you know what? I got you. My actions will speak louder than any words that I will ever say. What did the reggae artist say? Watch me now. Watch me now. Watch what happened. Now I got a few minutes here. If you want to come up before I get to go into my golf, here's the link. Talk crazy. We gonna get you. You're gonna be out of here. There's the link. There's the link. If you want to come, you have something to say about this. We didn't cover everything. My closing is to settle this whole thing. Okay. Watch the narrative. So for those who think I'm playing, yesterday, I got up I got up more than 6 o'clock in the morning. I had to pick up my son at 6:30. We went to a school here in Cleveland, Wilbur Wright, and I spoke to the fathers. So I ain't just talking this on YouTube and to get a name for myself and so I can say LDA doing something. No. I spoke to the fathers for the Father's Day walk yesterday. I think it's national for the Father's Day walk. So don't come over here and saying what we doing and what we ain't doing. I got suited and booted, bow tied down, crisp shoes, crisp shirt, hat to the side. Came in driving with my son, my oldest son, and I did something about it. That's what. So anybody got something to say? No, I do that. Yeah. And I ain't do it for no accolades. I ain't do it for no pat on my back. I did it because at the end of the day, they needed to see an image of a man who can articulate, who's well dressed, well spoken, and who can speak to where they are at. That's what it's about. That's controlling the narrative. I could have brought up Woman King yesterday. Well, what purpose is that if they don't see a king right here? That's what it's about. So if you want to come up, you got an opportunity to come up, share, whatever the case may be, talk crazy. I'm getting ready. You already know the thing. When thou comes to the Lord their God and given thee, you shall possess it and shall dwell in there and shall say, I set a king over thee and like all the nation and shall. Okay, that's Deuteronomy. So I want you to realize that we ain't just talking over here. This is real action. Suited and booted yesterday. Hat cocked to the side. It ain't talk. It's real action. This is Lawrence D. Allen. This is when spirituality and the game combines. I know everybody, and just trust me. Please don't come over here saying LDA's cupcaking for the movie. I ain't cupcake for the movie because I still think the way I think. But I also understand that if we're going to do something about it, shout out to O'Shea for putting this out there. Let's control the narrative. Let's control our own media. Let's control our own narrative. Let's control our own narrative. Let's control what's put out there. And if you got a problem with that, don't you come over here complain about no Woman King no more. No more. No more. And stop. If these women want to be, and then two, shut up. And do the women want to take the Woman King is just the same thing. We're not done. Uh-oh, you want the angel number. All right, Blackjack, give us the angel number. What's the first number to come to mind to you? What's the first number to come to mind to you for angel number? You brought it up. What's the angel number for today? And we out of here. I gotta go. I got some new clubs, new driver, and I got a hybrid. Ah, yeah. Whoop. Angel number for the day. I advise you to go back and listen to this. Men, I understand you behind the 8-ball. Economically, spiritually sometimes, mentally. But if we band together, we'll do more to control our narrative. 113 is the number. Let me put that in there. Uh-oh, there we go. 113. (113) is the number. Uh-oh, something went. Uh-oh, my screen, I hit the wrong thing. I forgot I had that. What's it called on there? 113. Support those who speak your language and push your narrative. You don't like what the other people don't. This other thing, don't be I know this sounds good. We should boycott them. The more you boycott them, the more traction they're gonna get. We go out there, we fight the power. We can do all that, fight the power we want. But you know how to really fight the power? It's when we have our own. Because y'all, sometimes we don't even support our own. Let's read what this angel number is saying. Whew, whew, what a day. Shout out to those with the super chats and the cash apps. Angel number 113. Number means that your angels are helping you reach your life goal and soul mission. Let me put this up here so while I'm reading this. I ain't gonna put her up there. Let's put this up there to help out. Angel number 113 means that your angels are helping you reach your life goal and soul mission. They are guiding you and giving you help as you go through transformations that will bring you into perfect harmony and perfect harmony with your divine life purpose. Trust that the angels are ascended masters as are by your side. Thank you so much. These people are usually very sensitive, ready to give their emotions to everyone around them. The magic number, which is in the date of birth, must be accepted if your subconscious fears that you will bring trouble. Okay, right, okay. So thank you. That's the angel number for today. You got anything you wanted? I didn't give you the link. I didn't get all the detractors and everybody want to say something, want to fight the power of me. Got a problem with my fellow content creator who's passed on, Kevin Samuels. I already know people got a problem with that. Okay. Angel number 113 is indicating interactions with obstacles and difficulties, which are a result of some karmic reasons. After dealing with these issues, you are cleared the path for the new things to come in your life. You can expect new opportunities for growth and progress in many areas of your life. And let me say something about this angel number. Angel numbers mean nothing, if you don't realize that it's not appraisal of the angels. Angels are just messengers of God to relay a message to you. So this is not putting angels on a pedestal or we're contacting angels. I want to make sure we get that. Let me see that. It is not we contacting angels and conjuring up. And I ain't on that. We ain't contacting angels or conjuring up angels and oh, come here. No, we ain't doing all that. We waiting for an angel to talk to us in one ear. No, ain't none of that. No. I want to make sure we're clear about that. This is just understanding the pneumatic side of the angel message. With that being said, as it was said, all minds and hearts are clear. I done gave the link. You want to come up? I need you last minute. Or I'm putting Big Shirley up there. Peace, peace, peace. Got it. OTA. Don't hurt them. No more whining and crying over here. I don't want to hear no more whining and crying about this woman king. We bootleg our own stuff, but won't support or get mad because somebody else do something. Oh, I understand. I understand it may not be the meeting of the movie. I get it. Same token, don't you be crying. Peace and beer grease. See you on the next time. Saying all these people crying about a woman, a fictional story that ain't even true. Ain't even true, Blackjack. Story ain't even this woman king ain't even a true story. It's fictional, based off of history. Ain't that crazy? I can't believe this came on. Ain't even a true story. Oh, let me get off. I ain't cut this off. Let me cut this off.